Oh hi, it's Bukai, and welcome back to another video guide for Knockout City, and today I've got a guide to showcase how to dribble the ball, and as well as how to dribble juggle, a technique that I haven't seen anybody else pulling off. I've seen other people pulling off things like the actual regular juggling of the balls and whatnot, but nobody I've seen dribbling and juggling the balls at the same time. So the first things first that you're going to know is how to dribble, and you're going to want to practice this in the hideouts. First thing is, learn to sprint. So start sprinting in the game, and then you will aim your camera directly at the ground, shoot the ball at the ground, either with a regular shot, a curve shot, or a lob shot. Regular shot is the easiest way to learn the dribble at the beginning. The curve shot is the easiest way to control the dribble, and the lob shot is the nicest way to go up and down ramps and maintain ball control. That's how I would describe each of these separate dribbles, and all of them use the same technique, except for jumping off of the building where you want to delay your actual jump off in order to maintain control. Now, as well as jumping down geometry. Level geometry is important to pay attention to. The reasoning for that is the camera can't actually go directly straight down. So when you go down level geometry, you will lose the ball if you attempt to juggle. Do not do it. Now, the curve shot is the easiest, like I said, to control and maintain the ball because it goes and lands directly in front of you compared to the others, at least for me. Each person and each player will find a nicer way to juggle and will find the one that suits them. However, for juggling the balls and dribbling at the same time, I find that the curve shot will be significantly easier to practice. But like I said, it's a lot easier to bounce it off of level geometry and a lot easier to lose control of, or when you've lost control of it, you've completely lost control of it. It's easier to maintain control, but when you lose it, it's gone. With the lob shot or with the straight shot, it's an easy dash to maintain control, and you also cannot go up level geometry when you are doing it. You will lose control, and you will have to slow down. Now, that's juggling in a nutshell. What you're going to be wanting to do is basically just practicing this technique over and over and getting used to it, considering it has a ton of advantages that you don't really see at the beginning. Main advantage is it's a nice flourish to pull off and it looks cool, but when you're actually pulling it off in a game, a lot of higher ranked players are actually watching your hands, and they're also watching and listening to your sound cues in order to throw off. So as a result, when people start doing flips and spins, they're not actually waiting to catch the ball because they know it's not coming. However, when you do this dribble technique, the ball shows them every visual indicator, every sound indicator the ball is coming. But you've de-targeted them and thrown it at the ground. And as a result, they quite often will botch their catch. They will hit their catch button, and then you regain control of the ball and slam it in their face. It may be a slow ball at that point because you have slowed it down and done a mix-up, but you've thrown them off. You may need to do a couple dribbles, you may need to charge dribble, or do what you want to do in order to pull it off, but it's an effective technique that way. The other thing that I've done in games to pulling it off is I have thrown the ball with a curve in one direction and gone around a player that kind of caught me by surprise and wasn't able to dash or take the ball away from me. It threw him off and thought that, okay, well, he missed, and, he was able to turn around and try and get to me. But by the time he basically caught on, I had regained ball control. It's a very important technique to try to learn, but it's one of those things of it is difficult to pull off in the game. So I would call it an advanced level technique. But it's just one of those things of hang around in the hideout, practice. You can always flick your camera up in order to regain your target control in order to throw the ball at someone's face, to actually throw it. And that's the catch with if you're charging at someone while dribbling, they don't know when you're going to actually target them because it's a slow ball speed. The indicator will pop up for barely a second when you actually target them and throw it at them. It is a wicked mix-up, and it forces the player to rely on pure visual indicators because the audio is throwing them off, the targeting is throwing them off, and your hand signals are throwing them off. It is a wicked technique to pull off if you can manage to do it. Now, I personally, like I said, prefer the control over the curve shots, but like I'm showing here, it's easy to lose control of the actual curve shot. Or when you've lost control of the curve shot, you can see that it's a lot harder for me to regain control of the ball. When you're doing lobs, the ball goes in front of you, and same thing with a regular shot. It also will, the curves will bounce off of level geometry. It's just one of those things of the lob shot and the curve shot are one dash away if you do lose control, and you can maintain it. Now here you're going to be seeing the juggling for the first time. What you do is you want to time the location and the landing of the ball. Practice this in the hideout. And if you can keep chaining your dribbles, you can actually dribble multiple balls at once. The curve shot is the easiest to pull this off because you don't need to judge the distance as much, as you just need to enter into the target's reticule. If you walk into the target zone on there and you do your curve shot dribble, you will pick up the next ball and are able to continue it. And there you can see where I'm jumping down level geometry and I'm able to mostly maintain control of both balls. I personally am not able to do this with multiple, like past 3, or at least past 2, but I'm sure that with practice and with skill and significantly better players than I will be able to pull off this tech and will be able to juggle and throw multiple balls at once. And why I like this technique better than the regular juggling has its advantages where you can keep control of the ball, it doesn't have the sound cues and whatnot. This technique looks cool, now for one. For two, the enemies don't know if you're going to continue the juggle or if you're going to throw or pass at an instant. Players can pass back to you, you can juggle, you can actually slow down the ball, you can re-bring it back up with a pass, and it is a wicked timing mix-up to actually pull off. You become a much more dangerous opponent as a juggling support player than the regular juggle. As a regular juggler, I find that you're mostly paying attention to just juggling and passing the ball to your teammates. That's it, and then you end up just playing the game and everybody knows what you're going to do. When you're juggling, it doesn't work like that. Now, you saw earlier that you can't juggle the bomb, nor can you juggle the good old-fashioned multi-ball. The moon ball is interesting because it acts completely differently. Because it basically makes your character act in low gravity and the ball acts in low gravity, it is easy to lose control of the ball. You almost have to do a double spin, a double jump, or a tiny little bunny hop in order to maintain control of the ball. But that's not the only weird thing that I've noticed with the actual moon ball. You're going to be noticing very shortly that I'm going to be doing a couple of juggles, and then I'm going to just snap throw. What's weird about this is, there's the snap throw, is it seems to just home on the nearest target without you actually targeting. It's only the moon ball that I've noticed that does this, and that could just be, you know, a glitch that I've gotten, and it looks like one, but I managed to pull it off like 3 or 4 times in a row. At first I thought that was just cool, but it's one of those things of, I don't have it on camera footage, but I was able to pull it off multiple times. So I think there's something up with the moon ball. Well, the cage ball doesn't actually bounce, so you don't really want to lose control of the cage. I hope that this video has been helpful to people. If it has, don't hesitate to give it a like, subscribe, pass it on to your friends. If you hated it, pass it on to your enemies out of pure spite. If you guys would like to help support the channel and help find more tech videos and more gameplay, then don't hesitate to buy me a coffee in the coffee shop below. If you'd like to join our lovely community, there's a Discord link down there as well. And with that, take care, everyone.